Welcome back. Well, we just shot a floating ant, and we decided to just have a little fun with some of the jig stuff we've been working on for the last year, ever since 2 years, I guess, ever since the Euro nymphing has just went crazy. We've been trying to put soul back into flies that have none, but still fish great. But so we're just having some fun here. I'm going to show you a couple ones that we've been doing. These are just regular ants. I mean, this stuff's been around forever, and you know, epoxy ants and all this stuff. But this is just fun, just playing around. You know, here's a little bee, and it's all just on the jig style stuff, right? And so it's a very simple fly, but it's kind of fun. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can do wasp, and the beauty of the whole jig system is that it just gets the fly down, right? It gets it where it belongs quickly, and so they're really efficient. So and to say, I make a lot of fun out of all the perdigons and stuff, because I think they're soulless. There's just nothing to them, but they eat the hell out of them. So I'm always trying to make it just have a little bit of something else to it. So this fly is really simple. This is it's going to be on a fulling mill 50-45 50-degree jig hook, very basic hook. It's going to be, I'm going to have a 3/0 bead on this as a Hannock slotted bead, which is, you'll see when I put it on, it just allows it to go all the way down to the eye of the hook. And it's going to be a whopping 2 products here, thread and thread. It's going to be your body colors. And then I'm going to have a turn of soft tackle, soft tackle hen, and just brown, it's grizzly dyed brown, and a Solarez bone dry. And so this is the resin. And then I'm going to show you the new, what is this thing called? This thing is like a beast.
The UV plasma light.
Plasma light. Yeah, this thing. Woo, look at this thing.
Get a tan with it.
You can tan yourself with this thing. It's like you can feel the heat coming off this thing. But it's that's all there is to it. So, and this is, like I said, feel free to adapt these things to what you, I mean, you can do micro bodies, you can do all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's just, we probably, I don't know how many thousands and dozens of perdigons we sell a year, and that style bullets, Spanish bullets and perdigons, and all of that, the old Duracell stuff. And then very few of them have really went off the edge with this and gone somewhere else. This is just a kind of a fun thing to do. But the beautiful thing about an ant, I don't care. I personally, I think if I had one ant or one fly the rest of my life, it'd be some form of ant, because they're the most prolific thing we have. The first bug to show, last to go, all that stuff. And they eat them. They love ants. So, and by the way, so do bluegills and so do bass. And you frequently see me, I've got my wax that I learned this little trick from Davey McPhail to wax my thread, and I've only done a handful of these things. I mean, I've done different styles, and one thing I found was, I can't remember which one it was that I had there. One of these, I just waxed, it wasn't this one, it was the other one. But when I waxed the thread, I noticed that my color didn't come true. That same thing happened with this little wasp. You know, this little wasp, I used waxed thread, and it started out nice and bright, and then it just kind of milked out. It didn't look as good. So this is so it's a little hard to get started. So just, you know, when you do use your wax, it's a little easier. So, and then now it's just repetitive. We're just going to build the shape you want here. I'm going to build kind of a bulbous middle here, and have a little point to its hind end. And so one thing you'll always notice when you look at an ant, mega separation between the head and the abdomen. And so that's the beauty of these things. You can build it up with thread, make these really clean bodies. You can see that's starting to turn orange a little bit more. The more build I get with this thread. Okay, we're gonna have to stop. I keep missing things. Ooh, there it is. So, and remember, when you build this, you're gonna put the bone dry over top of it, your UV resin. So you're gonna build up. So don't go to exactly where you want it. Get it to right here, and I'm just gonna come all the way forward. I'm gonna take the black, and I'm gonna go right over top of this, And we'll just cut these off at the same time. Cut it off a ways back to where you're going to have buildup, so you don't have tags. I was playing with that wasp and didn't have my glasses on, and Jeremy said, "You've got a tag sitting there." I couldn't see it, and so I cut it. It's amazing how this little tiny wisp of thread hanging out there, how it builds up on your when you put your stuff on here. So now I'm just building this body up, trying to keep it mostly forward because I want to have a nice separation of these bulbs, right? And so just going to build this up. It rolls off a little bit. I'm just trying to cover that hole up a little bit from the slot. And just undid it. Just enough. So once I get that on there, once I get it where I like it, where I think I can cover that hole up, I'll just do it with the bone drive. So we've got a nice start right there. So I'm going to do the back end. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back just to get it started. And then I'm going to give it a little shot here, just a touch before I go too far. Fill that hole. And then I'm gonna do that in two pieces, just because I want to be able to see if I got to do more on that top. It looks fine. So now build this up. It's easy to do. Just build it just with a little bit at a time. Just get everything coated. I like to coat this bead too. Make sure you don't get that in the eye of that thing. That is, as soon as you try to clean that eye out, you're going to see that you'll kind of chip the stuff away, and it will get real milky looking. It won't give you that clean look. And this thing's going to ride upside down, so I'm looking at the bottom of it right now. And just, ooh, that's a lot. Just going to get a nice shiny finish to it. And remember, it's riding down, right? So I'm going to let the bulb go to the hind end there. So it's going to be down here. This light, you can actually feel the heat with this thing, so it happens in a hurry. And what you'll see, one of the cool things about when you do this, where it's a little bit further down in, it starts looking kind of segmented. Where's that one over here? I'll show you. You can kind of see it looks kind of segmented inside here. It's pretty cool. Now, this whole fly is just about, I've got just a grizzly dyed brown hen hackle. And I'm going to leave this a little bit forward. And we're going to give it one turn. That's kind of slippery, this stuff is. I'm just going to give it one full turn. Doesn't need much. It's just a couple legs hanging out there. And then we'll actually go in and hit that with some, I'll hit it again with the glue. I'm just getting that nice and, get off there. What did you just do? It's a strong stem. I thought I could break it. All right. Now we're just gonna. I like these segments. I don't like to cover these segments up. That clean break. I got that a little bit more hackle there than I like. You can always trim some of that out. So now just get this stuff so it's standing up kind of straight, just so it doesn't get laid back into it. Now we're just going to take a little bit more of that. I can see a tag where I cut that, it's hanging out a little bit. It's amazing when you put this on, you'll see that thing sitting there. And don't be afraid to get a little of this on the base of the hackle right there. When I use lacquer, I let it drip right down into that, and I cover a lot of that up with, I cover a lot of the hackle with the lacquer. And it looks good when it's in the water. It gets all, kind of the bases get a little thick and keeps the hackle sticking up a little bit. So that is the whole deal. and don't try to make this hackle. See how I got a little bit of stuff on there? Don't try to make your hackle look like a dry fly hackle with these things. I was showing Jeremy we've done another video on this, and I'll put it and I'll let it drip. I actually take my own and I'll dip the whole thing in lacquer. And then pull it out, just kind of wipe the hackle a little bit, and it gets kind of matted at the bottom like this one is. See how it's matted down there? That keeps the tips sticking up a little bit. If you get too much, it breaks off. You just got to be kind of somewhere in the middle. But don't try to make it look super clean, like just perfectly wrapped dry fly hackle. That's not what it's got 6 legs and it's underwater. The thing's dead. It's all crumpled up. So, but the beauty of these things is you get these really cool looking little segmented bodies, and they're super easy to tie, super fast. Like I said, I spent more time on this one, and I got a little bit of color coming through there with the threads, just because it was building up. It's the higher you get with that thread, the more it shines through, and it gets very, very buggy. The big thing is you get those good segmentations in the body. It'll fish for you. You'll like it. And they're really fun to tie, and they're really easy. And again, don't be afraid to try other stuff. Try doing some wasps, doing bees. It's an easy way to tie a lot of fun flies. Hope you liked it. Hope it helps you out.